Footbrawlers. Welcome back, baby. Your commish Big Willis with another edition of Footballer TV. This week's edition of Footballer TV is sponsored by Busch Light, baby. You know I got one. On the show, check him out. Big Zoe, last year's Rookie of the Year. Welcome to the show. Welcome back. You're the man in this league. Tell me about it.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on, man? Feels good to be on here. You know, I'm glad to be in the league again, once again, rolling over, carrying my momentum, and just excited to be here, man.
Nice. Let's talk a little Zoe. Let's talk a little, no pun intended. 2-0, 417 total points. That's good for second place in our league under Sean. You beat me last week. You beat Edo week 1. We're both strong teams in the power rankings. Elaborate.
You know, I just feel like this is probably the best team I've ever drafted in my entire life. In all the years that I've been doing fantasy football, this is the best put together team I have ever drafted. You know, I have strength at wide receiver. I took a gamble on my running backs, and it's starting to pay off. You know, fantasy football is a little bit of luck and a little bit of gambling. I have a little bit of both. That paid off. I got a well put together defense, and my quarterback is just tops the cake, man. Couldn't have asked for a better draft result.
Nice. Speaking of quarterbacks, last year it was Eli Manning. We all know he could throw up the big numbers, but he does tend to lay goose eggs. So Eli Manning last year, this year it's A-Rod. How does that affect your confidence going in each week?
Man, that name gives me chills. Eli Manning. This man threw up a couple goose eggs on me last year. Not to mention I had Colin Kaepernick on the bench.
Oof.
Championship game that cost me dearly. This year I picked that man, A-Rod, discount double check. He does the job every week. I feel like this man alone sets the tone for my team every week. Having him on my squad gives me comfort that I'm going to be in contention every game, every week. Whether I win or lose, I know it's going to be close because of that man.
You're right,
so it's good to have him, and I'm excited to see what he does against a not-so-good defense this week.
Yep, Aaron Rodgers ranked number 2 this year so far going into week 3. What's the word on Larry Fitzgerald? We all know he's got a nagging injury. If he's a no-go for your team, I looked at your team, man. Who fills in that spot? It's hard to fill Larry's shoes.
You know, the last few days I've been reading up on Larry Fitz. Everything indicated he's a go, full go. They're just going to take it easy on him this week. We'll see what happens, man. Larry Fitz doesn't miss games. I feel like maybe they pulled him early because it's early in the season and they just kind of wanted to prevent him re-aggravating it more.
Yep.
But you know what? I might go with that man, Golden Tate. He's due for a big game. He kick returns, sometimes punt returns. We'll see what happens, man. In a PPR, he could be valuable. I know he's only projected 4 points, But like I said, I have Aaron Rodgers, I have Calvin Johnson, and I have 2 running backs that are doing their thing. You know, we'll see what happens. But you know, like I said, this is fantasy football. We got to gamble sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and take a gamble. If Larry Fitz can't go, I'm going with that man, Golden Tate.
I like Golden Tate, man. I was going to draft him this year. He's going to have a good year. All right, how about this? I got one more question for you. This past week, we had the brotherly love, the annual brotherly love battle between the twins, Michael and Adam. These guys, the 2 lowest scores of the year and the 2 lowest scores of the week play each other. I consider that this year's Chump Bowl. It was overrated. It was lackluster. I didn't see nothing. It wasn't exciting. It was horrible. How do you feel about this year's brotherly love match?
I tell you what, I love these boys like my brothers. I love them to death. But this game was a little rough. No reason why it was that low. Reggie Bush got shut out. Michael's team, Reggie Bush got shut out. Cam Newton, I don't like him, man. He's not doing it for me. Ray Rice got hurt. And then on the other side, Adam's team, I mean, no one ever thought Drew Brees was going to shoot up to 12 points. No one thought that was going to happen. And Anquan Bolden, goose egg, man. That man, Richard Sherman, ain't nothing to play with. He's nothing to play with, and he showed it. Jason Witten, you and I both feel the same way about Tony Romo. Witten didn't get targeted because Tony Romo's just not that good, in my opinion. Looking by what made these scores even high is this defense. Both of their defenses did really well, you know. I don't think anyone got lower than 6 points on defense, which was good for both of them. But, I mean, it is what it is. Stuff happens sometimes, and in fantasy football, we got to catch a break. And unfortunately, these boys just didn't have a good week. But I look forward to them bouncing back.
Adam got super lucky that he played the chump of the week, Michael, because he had the second lowest score in the league. That's luck, bro.
Absolutely.
But like you said, fantasy has a lot to do with luck. Let's get into these pick'ems. First game, NFLPA. Wait, no, it's not NFLPA. NFL underdogs versus the Gunslingers. On John's team, you have Julio Jones, Randall Cobb, two nasty wide receivers ranked 3rd and 4th. Who do we look out for this week? In my eyes, look out for Alfred Morris, man. This guy will double either one of his scores from week 1 or week 2 going up against Detroit. Alfred Morris is going to have a good week. Lamar Miller starting now for John. He had a touchdown last week. And then I got Don't Fucking Worry About It, AJ Green, Dez Bryant. Greg Olsen is the guy to look for. We all know what AJ and Dez can do, but Greg Olsen is Cam's new favorite target. The New York Giants have been getting torched between Denver and Dallas. Last week, Julius Magic Thomas, man, the tight end for Denver, scored a touchdown. I think Olsen has a big week, but NFLPA takes this one.
You know, I agree with you 100%. But we'll see what happens. You know, like I said, it's fantasy football. NFL underdog. He looks good, man. He looks good. I think Alfred Morris is going to bounce back. That offense is terrible over there, man. I don't know if he's in a slump, if it's the knee brace, what's going on. I'm going with NFL underdog, man.
NFL
I see
underdogs.
him bouncing back big time. Rashad Mendenhall to me doesn't look good. I don't think he'll do good, but we'll see what happens. But I'm going to go with NFL underdog here.
Next game, Sean versus Moose. This is, not Sean. Yeah, Sean versus Moose. And you know what? I had said the Gunslingers for the first game. I was wrong. It was NFL. Don't fucking worry about it.
You know what? Sorry. Let me go ahead and take that back. NFL underdog against Marco. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah, me too. I did the same. That's my fault.
Like I said, still, I'm gonna keep what I say. NFL underdog, man. I look for Alfred Morris to ball out this week. I don't see Marco's running backs. I don't like them that much. His receivers are studs, absolute studs. But I'm gonna go ahead and say NFL underdogs. Go ahead and takes this one, just like we talked about previously.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that was my fault too. Now we got the Gunslinger Sean versus Moose. Sean has Peyton Manning 9 TDs, 769 yards in 2 games.